Welcome again to Local Flavor on Nex-Tech Local 1. I'm your host, Deborah Anderson, and I'm here today with Erin Farber, who's going to teach us how to make her highly demanded chicken pot pie soup. Thanks for coming, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
Now, how did people know about this soup anyway? Where'd they find out?
Well, we created this soup for the Humane Society's Super Bowl. It was one of, I think, 15 soups that they had there, so we made it for that.
Was it the big winner?
It was not the big winner.
But still very popular.
But it was still very popular.
I can't wait to try it.
Yes.
Let's see. What are we going to do first?
First, we're going to start out by making the pie crust cookies that go on the side. So we have 2 cups of flour for that. We have one started. We'll go ahead and do another cup and get that added. Just want to level it off and make sure that we keep everything level when we're baking.
Yeah, you have to be more careful with baking than with soup part.
Yes. So we've added our flour, and then we need 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. So we'll add that.
I like your little measurings.
Thank you. So 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. That's going to give the pie crust some flavor so it doesn't taste just like flour. So we'll add that. And then next we're going to add 2/3 cup of shortening. This is what's going to make it flaky.
I wanted to tell you something. When I measure shortening, do you want to know what they taught us to do in 4-H?
I would love to know.
Just because I don't like all that mess. But, I mean, it's fine what you did, but we measure with water displacement, and you'd put it in like you put 1 cup of water in a 2-cup measuring cup, and then stuff in your shortening until the water raises to 2 cups. And then just pour off the water. It's not quite as messy.
That's awesome.
Kind of fast.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I'll have to try that.
You know what
next
they
time.
invented after that, though? The sticks. That's even easier.
I know.
Yeah.
That is.
But you can tell how old I am. We didn't have sticks when I was little.
They're a little bit more expensive, so I stay away from them. Next, I have a pie crust cutter. Basically, what you do is you just cut your shortening into your flour until it gets crumbly.
Now, is this kind of like real pie crust in that you have to keep it so cold so that the shortening doesn't melt?
Yes, this is like real pie crust. You're going to, after you get everything made up, you're going to wrap it in saran wrap, and you're going to place it into the refrigerator. You want to keep it in there for at least an hour or overnight. I usually keep mine in overnight. Make it up ahead of time, that way I don't have to do it when I'm making the soup. So now we have our pie crust, our shortening cut into our flour and crumbly. If you can see that. And then our next step is to just add our milk, and you're going to add it in gradually until it starts to form a ball. So
you're not going to measure, you're just going to
I am going to measure.
Okay.
I have, it typically takes about 5 to 6 tablespoons. And I usually start with like 3 just to get it going. And then after that is when you just want to
It's good to start low. You never know with the humidity how much you're going to need for bread or even sometimes potatoes too, how much.
So you just take a fork and start mixing it together, and it's going to start clumping up and bringing in all those crumbles together and start forming. So we definitely need more here. So we'll add another one. We'll add 2, because I know it's going to take at least that.
Just from making it so many
Just
times,
from
you
making
can get a feel.
Yep. So we'll start mixing that in.
Maybe with the shortening, it seems to hold its shape a little bit better than butter does, and so.
Yes, with butter you want to make sure that it's extremely cold. I like the shortening you get. It just seems to me to be a little bit flakier with the shortening, but you know, it's really your preference, you can use butter or shortening here. So we're gonna add a little bit more. Looks like we're getting pretty close here. And you'll notice that when you're doing this, that it's starting to really clump up and bring those crumbs together. So you, at this point,
it's getting sticky looking
yes.
a little bit. I'm glad you're touching it and not me.
Still, so at this point you can kind of use your hands and bring those crumbs all together into one ball.
Yep, you've almost got them in. And then do you have to knead it like you do for?
No, not really. You just want to bring it all together so it sticks. So you notice that it's still just a little crumbly, which is what you want, but you want it to be able to stick and form. That's going to help keep that flakiness to it as well. So.
Yeah, that's what's hard for me to get used to, that it's going to be a little bit flaky, or if you're using butter, that you can see chunks of butter. I always would want it all the way mixed in, and that's why it didn't turn out very well.
Right.
So
you want to have those
you can really
flakes.
overmix things.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to have to put this in the fridge for an hour?
Yes.
We've got to wait that whole time?
We do.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and get it started, and we'll be back later.
Okay.
Are you stuck in a contract with a wireless company that doesn't care about you? Maybe you've been wanting to switch, but everyone in your family has different contract dates. Now, you can easily say goodbye to your current wireless company. Nex-Tech Wireless will pay your contract termination fees up to $350 per line when you activate a new smartphone with the Freedom Program. There are no service contracts and no worries. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
New technology comes out every week, and it can be hard to keep up with new features and buttons each new phone, computer, and tablet have. You could soon be the tech-savvy person in your family if you watch Nex-Tech University. Available on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and Nex-Tech VOD, Nex-Tech University will give you the tips and tricks to master your latest device and make you the person friends will run to with questions. Watch Nex-Tech University on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and video on demand.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower e-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespublib.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
You can have all the channels in the world, but without the network to deliver the signal, you've still just got TV. At Nex-Tech, we've got the channels, HD, video on demand, TV everywhere, and we have the fiber network for you, because we've got these guys, and these guys, and these guys, and these guys. Nex-Tech, our fiber network, products, and people are here for you.
Make a difficult choice an easy one with Cedar View Assisted Living's knowledgeable and caring staff. Your loved one will be professionally taken care of as they transition into their new community. With movies, holiday parties, planned exercises, and games, residents will have opportunities every day to enjoy their time at Cedar View. Multiple room styles are available, ensuring a just right fit for your loved one. Come see Cedar View Assisted Living for yourself next to Sternberg Museum. The care you need, the home you want.
Great news, Nex-Tech customers. Now you can play Sunday Funday Bingo every week for your chance to win cash prizes and free service. Play along with your bingo cards included in your Nex-Tech bill, or go to nextech.com/bingo to print out your own cards. Tune in to Nex-Tech Local 1 Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Bingo is brought to you by All Faiths Funeral Chapel, Nex-Tech Wireless, Better Water, Rogers Associates Insurance, Cedar View Assisted Living, Genuine Appliance American Mattress, and Zimmerman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
So while the crust is still in the fridge, we've decided to go ahead and make the base of our soup. And so you're going to tell us what to do for that, right, Erin?
Yep. First we put 2 tablespoons of butter in our pan.
I messed with it a little.
We're going to turn that on medium. So we can start melting that, and then what we're going to do is take our veggies from there and put them in and soften them. We're going to use our onion, our celery and carrots, and our potatoes, base for a chicken pot pie.
Okay.
I'm going to have Deb go ahead and start cutting a little bit of our veggies. Our butter's melting here a little bit. And first I'm going to add 1 cup of sweet onion. You can use whatever onion you like, whatever you prefer. I used a yellow onion.
I love the smell of celery, but not the texture. So I'm glad we're softening it.
Yeah, kind of takes that away from it. So we're going to let this simmer. And then we also have 3 ribs of celery and 3 carrots. You can use more, you can use less, whatever you like, but we'll go ahead and add those to the pot. So I'm going to add what we already have, get those started, while Deb finishes and cuts the rest of them. You can, here, don't cut yourself.
I won't. It's just they're bouncing around. I'm going to cut these small. I want people to say, oh, this mushy bite Deb made.
So you can hear it kind of start to sizzling as it gets cooking here.
Is it on?
Yep.
Yeah, I see the red flame. So about the Super Bowl, was it during Super Bowl weekend?
Right before Super Bowl weekend, I think.
So what made you enter? Was it your love of soup or your love of animals?
A little of both. I love to cook, so it's a challenge for me to put together 10 gallons of soup to
10
serve.
gallons?
Yes.
Oh, so that's a big event,
It
huh?
is a big event. It was an all-day Saturday cooking event for me to make 10 gallons worth of soup. I had two big roasters full of it. And it's also for the Humane Society. All the money that is raised, I think it's $5 to get a sample of all the soups you want. Then you can buy more, you can buy tickets, and all the money that you put into it goes directly to the Humane Society for the pets. So it's a great event, and that's the other reason why we enjoy doing it. So we'll go ahead and add what you have there.
I got distracted thinking about the little puppies and kitties.
I know. It's so neat.
Well, you know, kind of like those 5Ks. Some people love to run, and some people don't do them unless it's something they care about. So.
Right, right.
But there's a lot of people who just go to all the 5Ks just so they can race.
Just so they can run.
Will I need this anymore?
Nope, we are done with that.
Okay.
So these veggies you can prep ahead of time, or as you're making your pie crust, after you put that in the fridge, that's something that you can put together. After you get it all in there, you get your onions, your carrots, and your celery with your butter, and you start softening those. You want to just kind of watch for your onions. They'll start to turn clear, and that's when they're softening, and that's kind of where you want them at this point.
I love the colors in here.
Mm-hmm. It really starts to bring out the flavors when you are simmering them like this. After you've gotten those started, about halfway through, you can add your potatoes then. It calls for 2 cups of potatoes. I like potatoes, so I did just a little bit more. I think it gives it a good texture with those potatoes in there. You don't want those too soft, and the soup and the recipe will actually cook the rest of those down as you're...
Now, did you season these with anything other than butter so far?
No, so far. When we get to it, we'll be adding salt and pepper here in just a minute.
Okay.
Yep.
Before or after we make it a roux?
Before.
Good.
Yep. Okay, so now that those are really simmering and getting in there good, we're going to add our salt and pepper. It just calls for a half of a teaspoon of salt and a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper. You can use a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you like.
Yeah, that is the great thing about soup. Soup is very forgiving.
Yeah, and I'm going to
personalize it quite a bit.
A little bit more pepper. I like
pepper. That to death.
I like
Fire
pepper.
mouth.
Gives it extra flavor.
I like the color it gives too.
Yes.
Oh, is that me? I keep bumping the buttons, but I keep thinking my pacemaker battery's going dead, but I don't have one yet. Someday.
Maybe. So those are starting to look good. We're gonna let those sit for a minute and kind of start getting going here. And while we do that, we're gonna measure out our flour. What this is gonna do is make our roux. It's going to make our recipe, our soup, thicken up. So when we add our chicken broth later, it's really going to make that soup creamy and yummy. So we're going to, looks good, I think. Think that looks good? We're going to...
I like them cooked more, but...
A little bit more. Well, they'll cook down in the soup.
Most people like them firmer. So yeah, let's do the roux.
When we add our, we're going to simmer it later for about 8 to 10 minutes after we get all of our liquid added. And that's going to help boil those potatoes down and soften them a little bit more too.
The onions do look translucent almost. Yeah, just about.
Okay, so here we're going to add a 1/2 cup of flour. Your roux is wanting to be, you want your roux to be, it's 2 parts. So you have 2 parts oil, 2 parts flour. So we've added our 2 tablespoons of butter. Now we're going to add our 1/2 cup of flour. And we're going to mix that all in and let that cook down. We want the flour to start turning just a slight golden brown. It's going to take that floury taste out of there and help your roux, or help your liquid really thicken up there.
It's really uglied it up in here,
It
man.
did. It really did. It made it...
And usually I whisk in the flour into the oil, but these veggies are kind of...
doing that for us.
Yeah.
So I'll have you go ahead and grab the chicken broth.
Already. Okay.
It calls for 3 cans, 14.5-ounce cans of chicken broth, and you just add that in.
Do I have to do it slowly or?
Nope, you just want to stir while you add.
Well, how could I have done that all by myself? This is a 2-person job.
It is. Okay, and basically what you were going to do from here is just kind of scrape up some of those good tasties from the bottom and get your flour all mixed together in there.
It looks like a chicken pot pie already.
So far, yeah. And then you're going to bring your heat up just a little bit to about medium-high, and then let it bring to a boil and start simmering. So I'll let you stir that.
Stir constantly or just until you feel it smooth at the bottom?
Until you feel it smooth at the bottom, and then you want to let it bring itself to a boil. So.
And I'm talking about the stuff that was sticking. I'm just getting it all up so it's smooth again, because you can kind of feel where the rough spots are.
Yeah. And then after looking at it, if you've got your liquid in there, if you feel like you need a little bit more salt or pepper, or if there's any other seasonings that you prefer, when you like garlic powder or onion, anything like that.
You know what might be good? Sage.
Sage might be good in it. Yeah, so you can add those at this point, let them simmer in there with the rest of the soup.
Rosemary's good with chicken, I think.
Yep. Now I pre-cooked my chicken, and there's a couple ways that you can do that. You can, well, there's several ways that you can get your chicken. You can buy it already cooked. You can put it in the crock pot and let it cook overnight or during the day, and then when you get home, shred your chicken, and then it's ready to go for you. I just chopped this up into little pieces and cooked it in a pan. I used a...
It looks perfect.
It looks yummy. I used a garlic grapeseed oil to cook it in, so it's got a garlic flavor from there. That's why I haven't added any additional seasonings other than the salt and pepper. So you have the garlic oil from the chicken here. So that chicken, and we also have some frozen veggies. We have 1 cup of frozen peas and 1 cup of frozen corn. Those will be added in after we start getting our soup brought to a boil here.
Were those chicken breast?
I use chicken breast, yeah. You can use any kind of chicken that you want, that you have. If you cooked a whole chicken and you have some pieces left over, tear it off the bone, use whatever chicken you want. These were just...
it looks like breast. It looks very good.
Yeah, these were just chicken breasts that I had.
I think I like that it's little tiny chunks instead of the shreds, actually. I'm sure it's good both ways, but it just is more appealing to look at.
Yeah, I think so. You want to keep them kind of small, though, so it fits in, or keep them around the same size as your veggies, and it all fits in together. But yeah.
Is it time to pour them in?
I think we're going to go ahead and add our chicken at this point. So it has 2 cups of chicken, of whatever chicken you prefer.
Okay, you go by cups instead of by weight then?
Yes, I do. Yep, and then I have a cup of frozen peas and a cup of frozen corn. We're going to add that in as well. Let you scrape the rest of that out of there. There you go.
I got everyone.
Perfect.
This looks really healthy.
Yeah, looks yummy. Lots of fresh veggies in there.
So bright and nice. So we need to let this simmer a while.
Yep.
Why don't we take a break and we'll come back later and work on our crust, our crusty cookies. See you in a bit.
Did you know?
It's not just water, it's better water.
Better Water Smith Center completes all your hydration needs. They sell Lundy spring systems, including water softeners, reverse osmosis, water coolers, and bottled water. They won't just install your system, they will service and repair it too. Better Water can repair Echo water systems and all other major brands. They offer softener salt sales and delivery for your convenience. Serving all of Northwest Kansas.
It's not just water, it's better water.
Did you know that most people's internet connections are too slow? Wondering if yours is? Just answer these simple questions. Do you have more than 3 connected devices to the internet? Do you stream video over your internet connection? Do you occasionally notice lagging? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need to come see Nex-Tech about a speed upgrade so you can experience the full benefits that fiber technology has to offer. Nex-Tech, our products and people are here for you.
Are you stuck in a contract with a wireless company that doesn't care about you? Maybe you've been wanting to switch, but everyone in your family has different contract dates. Now, you can easily say goodbye to your current wireless company. Nex-Tech Wireless will pay your contract termination fees up to $350 per line when you activate a new smartphone with the Freedom Program. There are no service contracts and no worries. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
New technology comes out every week, and it can be hard to keep up with new features and buttons each new phone, computer, and tablet have. You could soon be the tech-savvy person in your family if you watch Nex-Tech University. Available on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and Nex-Tech VOD, Nex-Tech University will give you the tips and tricks to master your latest device and make you the person friends will run to with questions. Watch Nex-Tech University on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and video on demand.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower E-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespubliv.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
Okay, our soup has been simmering and it's time to roll out our little biscuits, our mini biscuits that we'll use for crackers. I can't wait.
Yes, so we pull our pie crust out of the refrigerator. We unwrap it from our saran wrap here, and you can see that your little chunks of shortening are there. They're chunky and together, and that's what's gonna make it flaky. So that's why we know that it's ready, and we can go ahead and start rolling it out here. So
it's like speckled in there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of flour and flour our surface so it doesn't stick. and then just start rolling it out. You want to get it to kind of keep it in shape here, and get it to about 1/4 of an inch thick or so. And here's a good shot you can really see of the shortening in there. You can see those chunks.
That's what makes it so flaky, you said?
Yep.
How will you know when you get to 1/4 of an inch? Do you ever use the dowel rods or anything?
I don't. I guesstimate. I just kind of go with what I feel like. If I don't want them too thick, so, and you know, they're going to be fine either way. They're going to cook through either way.
Okay.
So, whatever you feel comfortable with, but it's kind of just a guess for me.
Well, I'm glad we have a few that we already made.
Yes, we did go ahead and make up a few, so we have it ready to go ahead and eat with our soup.
Okay.
But so once we have it to about the consistency, and I just kind of go by feel, like I said, then we'll go ahead and take, and I like to use a little mini cookie cutter. You can use whatever size you want, and then you just start cutting them here.
These are going to be like a cracker, right?
Yes.
You know what it reminds me of? I make this lasagna soup that where you put the cheesy stuff on top, but then the cracker is like a little tiny sliver of garlic toast, and it's really, it reminds me of this because it's kind of cute and tiny.
And they don't, you know, puff up or spread out or anything like a cookie would, so you can put them close together, pack them on there, and really get them close together. You get them on there, and then you're just going to put them in the oven from there, about 8 to 10 minutes, or depending on how hot your oven cooks, and they'll turn a light golden brown, and we have some cooked here.
Are they hot? Wait till you see them, they're really cute. Look, they look just like little biscuits, See, they even have the flakes like little biscuits.
Yep.
So I want to try it by itself, but I guess I'll try some soup. Do you want to try some with me?
Let's try some.
Well, do you want to serve me, or can I just do it?
You can do it.
Okay. I'm dying to try the biscuit the most. I don't really have a spoon.
Right here.
Should I just dip it? Oh, you have it.
Yep.
It's super hot. I hope the biscuit helps. I really just want to try the biscuit first. It is exactly like a biscuit.
Yep.
Well, it was supposed to be like pie crust, but it's a little of both. I'm going to dump it in. Do most people crumble them in?
I dump it in and kind of cut it up in there and eat it just like that.
Ooh, here's a piece of chicken. That is really good.
Tastes like chicken pot pie, huh?
I'm not a huge fan of veggies, and there's so many in here. I thought it might overpower it, but this is awesome.
Thank you.
And this sauce is nice and thick and tasty. Thanks for making it.
You're welcome.
I can't believe it cooks so fast.
Yeah, it's an easy, quick recipe.
I thought, especially with the potatoes, we'd have to cook it a lot longer, but mine are nice and soft.
Yeah, softening it with the butter prior to putting your liquid in really softens it up and gets them to where they need to be, so you don't have to cook it very long.
Awesome. And what would you say about this? Would you call this a broth, or would you call it a cream sauce?
Well, I would probably call it a broth, a thickened broth.
Well, we'll see what it did to my biscuit now. I'm sorry. I've been eating a long time.
Okay. It's yummy. It's hard to put down.
Okay, definitely the little biscuit or crust. That's the key. You gotta have that.
Let it soften in there. It really makes it feel like and taste like and be a pot pie.
Well, I think this is as good as a pot pie, possibly better than a pot pie, and definitely a lot easier. So you should definitely try it at home.
Yes.
Find the recipe on Nex-Tech.com and watch us on Nex-Tech Local 1 next time for local flavor.